did a test of two different signers. The founders of the Highline had sort of a following of their own. It goes as far as to say it's a cult. I think it's broader than that. But there are people who feel very strongly about the two founders of the Highline, whose names are Josh David and Robert Talent. They are the ones who literally said, you're not going to tear this down. It's kind of like going to be over our dead bodies. And they had started from the beginning and carried this all the way through. They had had enormous success both with government and with private philanthropy. And so, despite the common wisdom that one, first of all, never uses two signers on a direct mail letter, and second of all, the founder ain't necessarily the best person to sign the letter, we decided to test this assumption by finding someone who was very well known and very well thought of by more people than could ever have met the two founders. And it turned out that Kevin Bacon and his wife, Kira Sedgwick, were in on the Highline from the beginning and were very big donors to the organization. And we convinced Kira Sedgwick, who was enjoying quite a high celebrity at the time and still is, as the principal actress in the TV program The Closer. So we thought we had all things going in our direction, and we created two packages. We honored time-held traditions of direct mail by holding all variables constant except for the signers. So we kept the packages as much the same as we possibly could. And as you can see from, you can just look through these, Brian, they look virtually identical. But there are copy lines that tie Kira Sedgwick to the Highline. Talk about her father-in-law, talk about her husband, talk about her personal experience at the Highline, and ask people to join her. The brochure that went along with the package is a common brochure, and even from the way that it opens, it sort of leads you to the surprise of the Highline, because this is not your typical park. This is an elevated park. And I won't bore you with all of the details. You can go online if you're interested in the history of the Highline and how it came to be and what it is and what it's going to be. But it is virtually unique in the world. There is another park similar to it in Paris, but other than that, and there are some cities across the country who are beginning to think about doing things like this, but it's unique in this country. So the brochure, it's also a funny size. It's not the size of the package. It's not typical in any way. It's 4-color, and it shows an image of what the Highline is going to look like from the ground, which ain't your typical park. And it opens to show you what it used to look like, and it's a gatefold opening, and it isn't until you actually open the whole thing that you actually see what it is you're being asked to become part of. And this is all very purposeful. In every other way, the package is a very traditional package. It has no premium, thank God. So what's the next slide? Okay, results. Excuse me. So we had an astounding average gift. Our projections for this test look absolutely nothing like our results. And well, actually, we pride ourselves on coming in close. We're supposed to know what we're doing. So we don't typically have this outcome, but this is a very fortunate outcome in that the response to the Highline was absolutely outstanding. We had some mixed results to our tests. We had 2 tests going on, and there were 2 flights of this package. So the first test, we tested Kira Sedgwick as a signer, as I stated before, and we had very mixed results. Whereas the 2 founders, to our surprise, brought in more money, the Kira Sedgwick package brought in more donors. So there's your dilemma in acquisition. Are you in it for the names or are you in it for the money? So we decided that given this mixed result, they virtually raised the same amount overall. So one had a higher average gift, the other had a higher response rate. In the end, they were literally hundreds of dollars apart. So we did in a second test, we tested the 2 signers again and had a different result. In this second test, it was much clearer that the 2 founders were the better signers. We also did a lot of testing in zip codes, assuming, of course, that Chelsea would be our strongest point, but wondering whether there was any life beyond Chelsea. And wondering, too, because of the way that we selected lists, we used more commercial lists than we would typically use for most of our clients, but most of our clients are not like Friends of the Highline. So we really stretched ourselves beyond the typical and had very good results with most of the lists we used. And so in the second test, began to wonder what would happen if we stayed closer to In other words, was there life in the nonprofit community for an organization such as Friends of the Pipeline? And we found out that yes, Chelsea is going to be their strongest home base, but there is life beyond Chelsea and New York, and there is life beyond the typical hip, cool list. The more traditional direct marketing philanthropic lists also work for this organization. So I'm happy to take questions when we're all done with this, but I want to leave you with a little joke that I heard this morning that sort of reflects Brian's and our experience with PowerPoint this morning. The devil was interviewing the final candidates for a position he had open, and he said to one of them, "We really want somebody who enjoys torture, because they'll have to do a lot of PowerPoint."